Today's video is going to be a little weekend in my life on vacation and what I read. If you aren't subscribed, make sure you subscribe because there will be more videos coming from me soon. This weekend is MLK Day weekend. Today is Friday, January 12th. We are in the Poconos at my partner's grandma's house. And we're here for a weekend of relaxing. We have no plans except for to just read and play games and watch movies and walk around. So I thought I would take you guys along because I brought a silly stack of books. I'll show you in a second. Just to show you what I read in a weekend where I'm like just reading and I have nothing else really to do. This is the stack of books I brought with me. I will be reading these all this weekend. I just like to have choices. I brought this book, which is what I want to start. It's this like beautiful book with all these beautiful drawings, and there's like a little chapter for each week. So I want to just read the first couple chapters and keep up with it through the whole year. Like read it through the year as the seasons go on. And I brought Babel, which my boyfriend got for me for Christmas. I'm so excited about this book. I've had this on my list for so long, so I'm a little intimidated because of how it's not super long, but the font is just like really small. But I do really want to read this month, so we'll see. And I brought this book, which is by Caleb Azuma Nelson, who wrote one of my favorite books I read in 2022. So I'm really excited to read this one. This is his new one. I'll probably read this one next just because it's pretty quick. And then I brought Throne of Glass. My friend Maddie sent me the first 2 books, so I can start there and then we'll see. Maybe she can send me the rest of them. I'm intimidated mostly just because of how big the last books are, but this one's not super long. And then right now I'm reading Divine Rivals. I took the cover dust jacket off because they bother me a lot. Page 133. I'm gonna try to get through a good chunk of this now. Also, I upgraded this is my bookmark that I made when I was a baby. I also wrote something really motivational on the back. But I've had it for so long, and finally the other day I put like tape over it because I was worried about it was like starting to rip a lot. So now I have it like laminated, but okay. Hoping to finish this quick. My review so far, I don't love it. Whenever I don't love a book, I try to like figure out what it is that I don't like about it. And I think this one is written in a really weird way. Like the writing style is very weird. Like it sounds like the way that I wrote in my diary when I was in elementary school. Like a very like tell, not show. But I don't know if that's exactly what it is. I'll give you my review when I'm done reading it. So maybe I'll change my mind, but so far I'm not the biggest fan. But the chapters are short enough that I like want to keep reading, so. That is the update for now. I'm gonna go sit and read this for a little bit on the couch, and I will just keep you updated throughout the weekend. Good morning, friends. Quick little update before everybody wakes up. I'm in section 3, page 211. So I think I'm gonna just sit here and finish this last bit right here. My updated thoughts are that I think Iris is so dumb. Also, I hate enemies to lovers, which I should have known or thought more about before I started reading this book. But again, the plot is moving quick enough, I guess, for me to keep reading. So I'm gonna sit here and read. Probably will update you guys when I finish this book. Hi guys, I have an update for you. I finished Divine Rivals, and this may disappoint some people, but I hated it. I've been texting one of my friend's sisters who also read it and didn't enjoy it, and she sent me like a 7-minute long voice memo explaining the plot of the second book because I needed to know what happened. I just like, there's no way I'm gonna read the second book. Basically my thoughts are everything was like 50% developed, and that made it bad. Like the writing wasn't very good. It was like clunky and awkward. The concept is so creative, and just like the world building wasn't there. It would have been so good if it just had like another year maybe of thought. You find out like 50 pages in who's writing back to her on the other typewriter, and like it's a little bit obvious, but like it would have been better like if he knew the whole time like who she was, but we didn't know who he was, because then I think it would have made the story so much better, because we knew who he was, it made her seem like dumb, if that makes sense. So anyway, I gave this like a 2.5 stars, so I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna find a little free library to put this in when I get home. I read a couple chapters of this book, which I think I said when I was talking about this yesterday that I'm reading this like week by week. Like each chapter is like, what, week 1. So I read the first 2 weeks. I'll read the 3rd week on Monday. I love it. It's so beautiful. I read it all right now, but I think it'll be really fun to read like throughout the year. So very excited about this one. And then we just went on a little trip into town. It's like a random little town, but they had a bookstore and it was so cute. I'll put in a couple clips. There was like a little cat sitting in there and it was like used books and new books. And I got this book called Why We Swim, which I meant to look this up. I think one of my friends read this, but I'm a swimmer and so I love reading books about swimming. I think I will really enjoy this, and it was only like $8. And I got this cute little sticker that says support your local bookstore, and I think I'm gonna put it on my bullet journal. I'll show you guys sometime during this video my reading journal because I'll have to fill it out with these books that I'm reading. Next, I'm gonna read a book I think will be good because I hated Divine Rivals. I'm gonna read this book next. Like it has to be good based on how much I loved the last book I read by him. Like this one has to be good. So it's my long update for now. I will let you know a little more as I read this book, and that's all I have to say for now. Hi friends. I wanted to give you a little update because I am almost done with this book. I've been reading it since yesterday. Don't think I've talked about it since I started reading it. So this is gonna be my first 5-star read of the year. It's phenomenal. I knew it was gonna be this good because of how much I loved Open Water, but I forgot how perfect his writing is. I've been underlining and tabbing in a couple places where there are like parts that I really love. This is a perfect example of why Show Don't Tell is so fantastic. He could have just said, she laid her head on my chest. Instead, he said, she smiles and she arranges herself so that my chest is like a pillow, her head facing skywards. Anyway, I have about 40 pages left, so I'm very close to finishing. I'm gonna go finish this, and I think the next book I'm gonna start reading the books for the video I have coming out next week. I'll come back when I'm done reading this book, and then we'll move on to the next book. Okay, see you when I see ya. Hi, I finished my book. This is the first 5-star book I read this year, which I kind of anticipated it being. I read another book earlier this month that was really good, but didn't give me the 5-star feeling. This one absolutely did. It was perfect. I have little spots where I put tabs, and I also underlined throughout the book. I don't really do a lot of annotating because I feel like it's kind of a lot of work and takes me out of the story a little bit. This is just a book where there were like lines that I was like, and it's nice when I have books that I read that I own, I can like write in them. So I'm glad I bought this book. I'm gonna probably get a copy of his first book so I can reread it and annotate it and have it just because I love it so much. I 100% recommend this book. Absolutely 5 stars. Work of art. Phenomenal. There really aren't enough words that I can use to describe how good this book was. Now that I'm done with this book, I have a couple options. So the last 2 books that I brought with me are Babel and Throne of Glass. I'm so ready to start Throne of Glass, but at the same time, I'm worried that once I start it, I won't be able to read anything else, and I really want to read Babel. Anyway, I'm gonna read Babel. I read another book by R.F. Kuang earlier this year called Yellowface. I really liked her writing in that one, and I've been intimidated by this one because it's not like, it's just like an average, oh no, it's 530 pages, okay, long book, and also the font is so tiny. What I'm gonna do is, I think the book that I'm reading on here is only like 100 pages, so I'm gonna read that one first, and then I'll start Babel. Oh, I wanted to show you guys my reading journal, which is perfect because I just finished a book, so I will be right back. I'm gonna give you a quick little journal tour. I think I said this before, but this is like my reading journal / bullet journal. So I'll just show you the reading journal pages. Here's the front and the back. I think I'm gonna put my new sticker here, the one that I got yesterday that was like, support your local bookstores. If not, I'll put it on the back. Oh, the first page I have that's like reading journal related is my physical TBR page. And these are all books that I own. I have this page, which is the top 24 books I want to read in 2024. So I already read this book, and I did a little highlight with the number of stars. And I think I'm gonna go with the code from this page, which is my year in reading page. And so each time I read a book, I like fill out the book with that color. So I think I'm gonna use this for my physical TBR page 2 to kind of like keep all of the coloring the same. So I just finished 2 books off of my physical TBR, which is so exciting. One is Divine Rivals, and then the next was Small Worlds. Right, colored them in. This is my favorite page in the whole journal. And also I have my reading goals here, which I guess while we're at it, I might as well talk about. My 4 goals are read half of my physical TBR, so I want at least half of this page to be colored in. The 50% includes like books that I add. So I'm gonna try to hold myself to that and read mostly off of my physical TBR this year. I want to read 6 nonfiction books, which I feel like is a good amount, like one every couple months. I want to read 9 5-star books. This is an interesting goal because you kind of can't control it. But that means that like if I'm not feeling a book at the beginning, I won't read it. And I'll pick books that I think are going to be really good rather than like just choosing to read books that are super popular, because those I don't always love. But so far so good. I've already read a 5-star book and it's only like the 14th of January. So, and then my last goal is to diversify stories I read. I was doing a really good job of this a couple years ago when I was reading more, but I was looking at, I have like a book tracker on Notion too. I was looking at the books I read and they were like all by white women or white men. And I didn't read any queer lit last year, things like that. Just like different stories that aren't my own. Those are my goals. I'll probably do a little reading goal check-in in like a mid-year reading wrap-up situation video. So keep you updated on those. Here's my little book of the year bracket, which I'll fill out at the end of every month. And then I showed you my year in reading. I'll have to fill out a couple more here. And then this is my book tracker. So every time I read a book, I'll fill in a little square and it will say whether it's an audiobook, physical book, or an ebook. Here's my series tracker. I will be filling in the one for Divine Rivals and where is it? Right here. And crossing out the other one because I'm not reading the second book. And then here's a page where I'll put all my 5-star reads, so I'll have to print out a picture of the cover of Small Worlds to put it in one of these frames. And then here I'm keeping track of how many minutes I read each day because I felt like pages would be kind of hard to calculate. Finally, at the end of the month, I have my wrap up. I'm gonna write each title here and rate like with the stars here. So this whole page will be filled in at the end of the month. All right, I think that's all for me now. I have to go charge my camera battery. Good morning, guys. It is now Monday, January 15th. I woke up like half an hour ago. I'm gonna read a little bit more. I started Babbel last night. So I'm gonna sit here and read for a little bit, and then I actually am gonna start editing this video so I can get it up on Wednesday. When I get home tonight, I'm gonna do a little wrap up of everything that I've read. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hi friends, it is the next day. I'm home now from my trip and I wanted to give a little wrap up. These are all of the books that I read all or part of this weekend. First, I finished Divine Rivals, 2.5 stars. If you watched all the way here, you already know why I didn't like it. Second, I finished Small Worlds, absolutely 5 stars. Again, you should know why I like it. It was perfect. You have to read this book. Like, please, if you take anything out of this video, is read this book. It's so good. I read a couple chapters of this book and I'll be reading this throughout the year, so you will see this come up in my videos throughout the year. phenomenal so far. And then I started Babel. I'm only about 40 pages in so far, but I'm enjoying it. I really like the writing style, and I think it's gonna be an interesting story. It's kind of cool because I know it's a fantasy, but it's like very much just historical fiction, except for this one little thing with these silver bars that I'm still trying to understand. So it's not like a ton of world building yet, but I'm excited to read this week. And then I also read a book, which I didn't really show for the video that's coming out next week. If you aren't subscribed already, make sure you're subscribed so that you'll see when I post that video next week. It's kind of a fun one. And I will be posting weekly from now on. I have videos planned out through April. So, given that all goes to plan, I will be posting weekly again. I miss making videos, it's so fun. So, if you made it all this way, please leave a comment down below what book you've recently finished that you've enjoyed or did not enjoy. I'm happy to hear both opinions there. And that's all from me today. All right, thanks for watching. Bye guys!